Hello, beautiful women, and welcome to the Art of the Whoosh bonus training session. If this is your first ever training with me, say hello inside of the chat. If this is a training that it feels like a very important pivotal time for you, please let me know inside of the chat box. First timer, Helena Woods, I know you, and welcome to the events program as well. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Please say hello inside of the chat box. So, pivotal whoosh, yes, such a time as this. Amen. Didn't even know what's that message, didn't even know about this call until I received the email. So happy. Pivotal. The video is playing on hold. The video playing on hold is so good, whoosh. Okay, so we are going to have the time of our lives inside of this program. So there are certain programs that I drop, and I know that it's one of those programs that's going to change an ecosystem. It's going to change the land for everyone. Because one of the things that I created when I was going through a very pivotal time in my life is what I bring forward changes everything. And when we're looking at that through the lens of the art of the whoosh, if you think about the whoosh as creating insane amounts of momentum in your life, well, when you create a lot of momentum in your life, it also requires a lot of leadership. So you have to show up as like this bigger, bolder, more confident version of yourself in order to really lead people. And when I've gone through things in life that have been really, really challenging or difficult, one of the things that has helped me is deciding that what I bring forward changes everything. And I think a lot of times in the online world, people forget that. People forget that like your voice, it doesn't matter, it really matters. Because what you post can change an entire industry. The events that you lead can change an entire industry. The offers that you drop, the new conversation, the way you trailblaze and pioneer something new, it changes the entire world. So you are on the bonus call. And the bonus call before we enter into the whoosh next week is about aliveness. It's about creating this feeling inside of yourself that's like, wait a second. I'm not just gonna do it, I'm gonna do it in an extraordinary way. I'm not just gonna go to the top, I'm gonna create a new top for other people, not because I need to push down or lead or be on top of people, but simply because you know that there's a greater calling on your life. That's the mission of Freedom Queen. I don't just lead leaders because I want them to lead and everybody else is a follower. I deeply believe that leaders are leaders because they're meant to birth and create and help make and lead other leaders. And I would love to know inside of the comment section if you feel that for yourself. It's like your work is for leaders and your work is for people that want to become leaders. They see themselves that way. Now, by next week, I have something very important that we're going to pivot into, and it's going to make sense for the aliveness. By next week, on our first call, one person is going to be receiving this Dior necklace. And I actually just did an entire Instagram live on this. And for those of you that were there on the live, let me know inside of the chat. Put no if you weren't on the Instagram live that I just did. Inside of the chat. Daisha was there. I would love to know who was there, who wasn't there. I think it's only a few of you that were there. Okay. So I'm going to bring forward this conversation to this call, and I want to go deeper together than I did on the Instagram live. And I'm actually going to start with putting this necklace on. So the reason why we're doing this aliveness call, before we go into all of the strategy and the things of how do you actually create a lot of momentum, how do you get a lot of people watching you and interested in what you're doing? How do you sell out? How do you sell 50 slots, 70 slots into a high ticket program? Like, how do you actually move the masses? How do you do this? You have to move yourself. And that's why we're doing this aliveness call. Because I really believe, and I love that Liv put this in the chat because I was just talking about this on my IG Live, it's such a time as this. In different seasons of my life, I have felt this feeling of friction. Right before my first quantum leap ever in business, I felt friction and resistance. And I started to feel like maybe my voice doesn't matter anymore. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe there's another industry for me. And during these seasons, right before I entered into one of the biggest whooshes of my life, I would take myself, not realizing it, I think it was God doing this, but to Dior. And on Monday, one person's going to receive this necklace. And I left all the other necklaces in my vanity area, so I won't bring them out, but there's a lot of other Dior necklaces that have this symbolism. I think that one of the things that people misunderstand about a big whoosh or quantum leap is that they think that there needs to be something happening out of them, outside of them. Like as if they need a lot of pings going through Stripe, or they need a viral post happening, or they need all of their clients validating them. They need everyone in the industry to be like, you are the best person ever. That has never been my experience before my biggest quantum leaps. That has never been my experience. So back in 2023, I came alive, and this is going to make sense as we go through this aliveness conversation. I was going through a time in my life in the middle of 2023 where I started to feel like maybe I'm not important. And I started to experience resentment and frustration and challenges, and I really started to think like maybe I don't matter. And the devil was telling me all of these things like, you're going to make it, you're not going to make it. People like you, people don't like you. You're the best, you're the worst. And it was like I had the angel and the devil on my shoulder pretty much every single day. And it was one of the most difficult times in my business. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't have any power. I don't have any power. I definitely did not feel alive. Do you know the aliveness in business when everything is booming and you feel the zest and the happiness and the joy? It's the whoosh. It's like everything is working. Even the bad stuff works out for you. Like the whoosh is so powerful that it moves you completely. And I just remember thinking to myself, I have no power. So the only thing that I can choose to do is choose courage. And so I chose courage at a time when I had no pings and dings and things. I had no people outside validating me. I didn't have lots of likes on posts, but I had the ability to choose courage. And so I launched a weekend with me in New York City. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be courageous and launch this thing. I had never sold a one-to-one weekend in New York. I'd never done something like that. Like, who's going to buy this thing? Everything around me was telling me like, it's not working. I actually had started to launch another in-person experience. And then I realized like, oh, I actually don't want to do that experience. So I stopped selling it. So I didn't have like momentum. Things weren't just like working out for me like they do now to this day, because now I know this work. Okay, I know it's an energetic thing. And so I launched this $8,000 program or weekend with me at the Plaza in New York City. And one brave soul signs up, and it is somebody that I've never worked with before. She's never purchased anything in the history of Freedom Queen. And she says yes, and I say yes. And I'm like, okay, great, we're gonna do this. Now, one of the things I love to do with my clients is I love to give them luxury experiences. Going to the Ritz in Paris, the Ritz in Costa Rica, luxury jewelry, like really beautiful experiences because I love the intentionality of this. So I reserve at Dior before Lauren, the VIP client, comes, a shopping experience at Dior. And I walk into Dior and I find this necklace. I'll have to upload the picture and show you the necklace. It's this gold necklace and it's very small. Okay, it's not a bold necklace. It's small. And it just says CD, Christian Dior, on it, and it's little. And I buy this necklace for myself. And I put the necklace on before Lauren comes to her VIP weekend. And I go to the gym actually after that because I love working out because it activates me in really incredible ways. And I'll never forget, I'm wearing this necklace and I'm doing the leg extension machine. And at the plaza, there's a mirror right in front of it if you ever go to the plaza. And I lift up my legs and I look in the mirror and I say, oh my God, you can at any point in time decide to become a bigger version of yourself. And that moment is right now. And I know that you haven't had power, and I know that you've had more fear, and I know that outside of you, it feels really stuck and like there's no momentum and nothing is happening, but you are going to choose courage over power right now. And so you're going to be insanely courageous. And what you're going to do is you're going to drop this offer. It doesn't make any sense. I've just spent like $1,000 on this necklace. I'm in the plaza. I'm leading my VIP client weekend. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to choose courage because I decide that when I choose courage over power, I create the whoosh. And that night I'm laying in bed and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop an offer. It's going to be called the 50K month mini mind. It's going to be $4.99 and it's going to sell out overnight. I just know it. Mind you, everyone, I have no momentum. Nothing, like things aren't moving like in the flow state. I have no momentum. I drop this 50K month mini mind and overnight I wake up in the morning at 7 a.m. to go have a business brunch with my VIP client and it's sold out. And I'm like, I think I'm on to something. I have cracked the code. I've entered the whoosh and now momentum starts to happen. It's like I'm feeling the engines turn on, the whoosh. Suddenly I'm taking beautiful pictures inside the plaza. I'm posting them on social media. There's this aliveness about me. There's a skip in my step because I chose to believe that something incredible was happening for me. 1 month later, I crossed $1 million cash for the year. After that whole entire summer, the devil is telling me, you're not going to do it. You're going to get to $900,000 cash, and the next year you're going to do it. Your sales are going to slow down. You're not going to make it. 1 month later, I crossed it, $1 million cash, and started doing $100,000 weeks, when previously that was like a goal for the month. And that necklace meant everything to me. I'll show you the picture. I wish I brought them with me, but I trust that I didn't. They're in my vanity. You can watch the Instagram live. And I kept that necklace and I would wear it all the time when I wanted to choose courage over power. And clients started saying things to me like, Bridge, where'd you get that necklace? I want that necklace. It's so beautiful. And then clients started buying the necklace and it became this like message. Whenever I see clients with Christian Dior on, it's like usually it's our thing. I love Christian Dior. I love the stories. I love the power. I love the creativity behind the brand. And that became something for me. And then this necklace found me. And it relates to our conversation. Same thing around that story with aliveness. I got this necklace in 2024, and one of you is going to be receiving it on Monday. And we'll talk about how it's going to work. And you'll learn how the experience in itself is going to expand you and help you to create your own aliveness and your own whoosh within your own audience. So in 2024, I am putting on Freedom Queen Live. And I have no idea like what's about to happen in my life. No idea. But Freedom Queen Live, the event that activates the world, the industry, that activates a lot of people is coming on the horizon. And Freedom Queen Live gets canceled. And I am like, okay, well, it's not like there's not momentum, but I am navigating so many difficult things. I'm navigating challenge and problem, and I'm in CEO mode. Like I am just going to do. I'm going to figure this stuff out. I'm going to get it done. And in that moment, as I'm navigating difficult challenges and course correcting and pivoting and trying to do things better and fix this and learn from that mistake and lead people and refunding $70,000 in ticket sales and rescheduling, I come back home to I have an opportunity to rise right now. I have an opportunity to rise. And it was like God came to me and said, Bridget, you can either shrink and you can be small and you can, take everything in internally and you can mute yourself and cancel yourself, or you can choose to rise right now and be the voice for people that need your voice. And the reason I started off this call with such a time as this and my IG live with that is because I deeply believe that the industry, that the world, the women's empowerment movement needs you right now. That there's a really good opportunity for women right now to really go for it. Much like how I felt in different whoosh seasons over the years. But this one, for me, this whoosh I'm in right now has activated me to building $100 million company minimum. Like it's activated me in a way where I've never felt this alive in my business. So at that time, I had the choice. I could either be afraid, I could stay quiet, I could let all of the challenges literally take me down, overwhelm me, or I could choose to rise. So God has a funny way of doing things in the world. And I'm back at a VIP weekend right around that time. I'm back at a VIP weekend. I see everybody that's here. Hi. And this time I'm in Paris. And I'm in Paris with the incredible Valerie Benoit. If you don't know Val Benoit, you need to know her. She's absolutely fabulous. And we're doing our VIP weekend, and Freedom Queen Live is getting rescheduled. And at that time, I kept hearing signs about the diamond. Like diamonds are all over the place. Diamonds are everywhere. Robbie and I were looking at diamonds. Little did I know that we were about to go buy this diamond at this beautiful shop in Florence and have this incredible experience. Diamonds are everywhere. Like people are telling me diamonds are made under pressure. And I'm like, I'm going to become the diamond. I'm going to rise right now for myself. Under all this pressure, I'm going to work on shining so bright, and I'm not going to turn my lights off. I'm going to choose to become more alive in spite of all of the pressure that's happening right now. I'm going to become the one who shines. So I go to Dior one day, but I don't just go to Dior. I go to Dior dressed up with the best clothes that I had at that time, which were like Zara clothes. There's nothing wrong with Zara, by the way. I go to Dior, and I have this extra skip in my step. I have this knowing that despite the fact that I felt like I had all these scars, I also felt like I had all of these wins. I felt like there was like this beautiful blossoming happening. Like the best things were coming my way. And I know that I was experiencing massive amounts of pressure and turmoil, but I felt like God has a plan. There are diamonds literally everywhere. I'm going to be the diamond of the season. I'm going to figure this thing out, and I'm going to choose to rise. I will not let all of these things take me down. So I go to Dior, and at Dior, there's like this glass case, and I'm telling them like what I do. And Dior loves collaborating with Freedom Queen because we do so much. We have reps all over the world of Dior. And I'm looking at the glass case. Now, if you know Dior does a lot of gold. They don't do a ton of like solid pearl necklaces. And at that time, I already had a gold little Dior necklace and a bracelet from my husband. And I'm looking and I'm like, this one stands out. This is not a classic Dior piece. This is not something, I think they don't even have it anymore. I haven't seen it in a long time. They have other pearl ones, but not this one. And I'm going to explain this to you in a second. And I'm like, oh, it's a little edgy. Pearls, it's a choker. But as I'm looking at it, it like literally calls to me. And I'm like, that's the one. I'm going to get this necklace. One of the things that I love about this necklace is the pearls and how they increase in size as you go around. So it goes from these little pearls to the bigger pearls, all the way to the biggest pearl over here. And for me, that became a symbolism of choosing to rise. Like I'm going to go from being the smallest version of myself, but look, I'm going to become the strongest, most biggest version of myself in a moment. And there was no other necklace made by Dior that does this. None. And I'm like, I'm going to choose to rise and be that person. And I'm like, okay, well, that's unique. It's kind of funny. Like half of it's big and half of it's small, but that's also me right now. I feel like half of me is really big and half of me is really small. Half of me is really courageous right now, and the other half of me is absolutely terrified. So I'm going to get this. And as I'm looking at this necklace, I also find out, I'll take it off so you can see it a little bit closer. I also find out that inside of the necklace, there's not just one diamond, it's covered in diamonds. So there's like diamonds all inside of the CD, and there's diamonds on the outside, and I'm like, this is the piece. This is the one, this is everything that I need and desire right now. And I said this on my Instagram live, but one of the things that I love about the pearl, for me, this became something where it was like, the one who chooses to rise becomes the diamond. And it meant something to me. This wasn't just like I went to Dior to pick out a necklace for myself. It was highly intentional. And as I put it on and I walked home, I'll never forget walking home with it on, and then I had the Dior bag in my hand. I went back to the Ritz in Paris, and I did an Instagram live in my bathrobe and wearing it. And I talked about Freedom Queen Live and all of the different challenges that I was navigating. And I was like, I really believe that something beautiful is coming out of this. That next month, I had my first $1 million month. And I crossed 2 million in cash for the year. And my work became so powerful. My work became some of the best work that I ever created. And I was no longer reactive to people. I was no longer like, I'm going to do this because I need something out of you. It was like, I'm going to do this because I'm the one who chooses to rise, and I'm going to become the diamond that shines. I'm going to become the one that the industry needs, that women need, for me and for everybody, because somebody has to do it. And so this became something for me that I continue to wear. And it became something where it was like, nothing can take me down. I don't care what challenges I've been through. I don't care how stuck you feel. I don't care if you feel like you've lost your power. I don't care if you feel like nothing around you is happening. You're not stuck. And you certainly don't need something outside of you to change in order to get out of that. You have to be that person that decides that you are going to change something, that you're going to lead something for yourself. Yes, you've had the seasons of depression. Yes, you've had the seasons of people turning on you. Yes, you've had the seasons of it being different. Yes, you've had the seasons of you being your own worst enemy. But that doesn't mean that you can't also have the other seasons. That doesn't mean that you can't decide right now to enter the biggest whoosh of your life. That doesn't mean that this right now, what's today, March 20th of 2026, that right now, while you're watching this training, you decide that you're going to become this bigger version of yourself, and you're really going to go for it. And you're not just going to like acknowledge the negative things that have happened, but you're going to really own them. You're going to take them with you in the whoosh. You're not going to abandon the bad things. You're actually going to be so powerful that you take the negative things that happen inside of the whoosh, because they will happen. When you do this work with me, and as you do this work with me over the next week, and for those of you that work with me outside of this, beyond, cracks are going to happen when you enter a whoosh. You are going to experience things in the next week, in the next month, that make you want to shrink. It's a test. That make you question, are you made for this? I cannot wait for I Made It May, by the way. That make you question, are you the one? That is all a part of the process of entering the whoosh. So a whoosh, think of it like a tornado, right? When I was experiencing the Freedom Queen Live rescheduling, it felt like the tornado and I was the eye. It was like the tornado was happening. All of these things are happening around me. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. And I have the opportunity to say, well, of course, all of these things are happening. The world is changing. I am changing. And when change happens, change tends to create cracks. So the cracks are a part of the whoosh. The problems that are going to happen in the whoosh are inevitable. These are things that are going to happen, so you are going to be okay. And one of the ways, in fact, to know that you're in a whoosh is to start having cracks happen. I'm in a huge whoosh right now. Huge whoosh. And I see the cracks. Oh, there's a post. Oh, there's a thread. Woo, I'm in the whoosh. One of the silliest things that you can do is see those things and say, oh God, it must mean something's wrong. No. When you get to a point in life after you've experienced many things in life, difficult things, you know that when something bad happens, that God is with you by your side. And you're like, oh God, there must be a good plan here. I know that there's going to be a really good story to tell after this. And I know for certain that there's a lot of wisdom that's going to come out of this. And I know that wisdom is something that I have to share with the world. And the wisdom becomes the things that I teach and mentor my clients on. So thank you for this experience. So as you enter into this whoosh, you're going to experience cracks. And that's a part of the plan. It's a part of the process. You don't have to crack, but the things around you will. And that's how you'll know you're in the whoosh. So for me, this necklace, and as I'm telling this story again and again, I'm falling even more in love with this necklace. This necklace became a symbolism for me. I actually, the next year, went on to purchase another Dior necklace, which is for another time. That's when I had a $2.2 million launch. We'll talk about that another time. Maybe that will be something else I end up gifting. I'm not sure, but this one feels really special to gift to someone. Because this necklace is about entering into a new season of using your voice. It's about choosing to rise and being the one that the industry needs. Kind of like the shining star of the season. The one that everybody needs to learn from, to buy from, to listen from. The one that shines so bright that it's like, who is that? That is who this necklace is for. So I'm going to tell you now how you can potentially receive this necklace. And then I'm going to take a look at the chat and I want to have a conversation with those of you that are live with me here. So in order to potentially receive this necklace, rather than having you share things that are like the Art of the Whoosh branded, because I know sometimes I don't like to share other people's branded stuff. I'm going to facilitate a process where you and your community and your people that you lead enter into a whoosh inside of your own business. And what I want you to do on social media, on your Instagram stories, on feed posts, on Facebook, both platforms are perfect, is I want you to let your audience know that you are entering into one of the biggest seasons of your life, that the whoosh is happening. And you can use your own vocabulary and language, and I really recommend that you do. Maybe you would say something like Liv put in the chat, such a time as this. Things are changing. I'm entering the biggest season. Watch me. What I'm bringing forward is about to change everything. And when you share it, make it really, really beautiful. Make it feel like a piece of art that you put together and share it. And then tag me. Tag me in it somewhere inside of the post. And every single time you do this between now and Monday, you are going to get entered to win, and one person is going to be receiving this necklace. Now, there is a caveat, which is if you just tag me, I don't think any of you would do this, but I'm going to share this caveat. If you just tag me to tag me, and it feels like you're just tagging it to get a $1,000 necklace, then you will not be getting the necklace. This necklace is for someone who is really, let me take it off again. This necklace is for someone who not just needs this necklace, but knows that right now she's ready to enter into the biggest whoosh of her life. That she's the one who chooses to rise and becomes the diamond of the century. That you don't just go to the top, you create a new top for other women and you shine so bright and you shed the way along the way for them, and then they become the other diamonds, and then everybody's shining bright. As I said at the beginning of this call, you're leading other leaders who also want to shine. So you must be in the whoosh, and all of you are obviously in the whoosh. But one person will be receiving this and picked on Monday. And again, when you share these things, don't just share it because you're like, I want to tag it. And again, I don't think you would do that, but share it because it means something to you. You know how on my Instagram stories, I'll share things like, I just feel like things are changing. Something really amazing is coming my way. Did you know that that's a sign of very successful entrepreneurs? Successful people in the world, the most influential people in the world, deeply believe that what they're bringing forward is important. They believe that the latter days are greater than the former days. The days of the righteous grow brighter and brighter. The best things are ahead of you. That is a signal and a trait of somebody who's extremely successful. So on social media, I want it to mean something for you, and bring your community along the journey with you inside of your own whoosh. Whatever you create for yourself out of this program, it's like this is your own whoosh for yourself and what it is that you're building. And what happens is when you allow people to witness inside of your own whoosh, people will want to follow you, and they'll want to know, what's this woman on? What in the world? Oh, there's people coming in. What in the world is this woman drinking right now? And it's like, well, she decided that even though she felt stuck, and even though she had turmoil and challenges and all the reasons not to, even though she was her own worst critic or whatever it is that you're navigating, that she decided to become alive. And now she wants to lead you on that pathway. And that has been one of the greatest things in my entire life that has led me to then the $1 million year and the $1 million month and all of the things. It's choosing to create this aliveness within myself first. So on Monday, someone's going to receive this beautiful necklace, and I cannot wait to see who wears it around their neck and who experiences the magic of it. And I cannot wait to see you enter into that. And maybe you'll give it to one of your clients, or maybe it'll be a part of your family, like an heirloom, an artifact of the time when you chose courage over power, the time when you chose to become the one who rises. So I'm very excited about that. And now I want to take some time to go into the chat and have a conversation with you about this aliveness conversation. Because next week in my teachings, it's very strategic. So next week is like, say this in your marketing, add this sound to your launch, add these different imagery, add this new angle, add this social proof, use this through line in the launch if you want everyone to buy without even having a sales page. Like, that's a lot of strategy. But if you just have that and you don't have the silent piece of the aliveness inside, you're not going to show up for the launch like you could. And I don't just do this work so that women make a lot of money. I do this work so that you're also alive at the same time. Because if you have money without aliveness, you have depression, you have worthlessness, you have insecurity, you have resentment, you have hatred, and your heart grows so cold. And I know it because I've experienced it. And I've experienced it, so you don't have to. So we're going to focus on your aliveness over these next couple of days. And then next week, we're really going into strategy. Let me see this conversation in the chat. Alexandra says, you are speaking to my soul, Bridget. Can you clarify on the challenge for the weekend one more time? Oh, Allie Kennedy's here. Hi, Allie. I've been thinking of you. Congratulations to all of your success and everything that you're doing. Alexandra, yes. So the challenge for this is one person on Monday is going to be receiving this necklace. And the way to enter to win, to receive it, the gifting, I'm calling it the gifting experience instead of a giveaway. It's not giving it away, it's a gift. It's an intention for you. The way to receive it, potentially, because one person will get it, is to share on social media for you this next evolution that you're entering into. So when we create a whoosh and when we create an aliveness within ourselves, just like I talked about in all of those stories, we first create the aliveness within ourselves, but then it's so important that we let our audience in and the people inside of our movements and brands, we let our customers know you're going somewhere. So it's very important before you go into a whoosh that you let your audience know like something's coming. I've decided that it's a very important time in my life. Big things are happening. I have so much momentum. Watch me do this. Now, you can use my own slogans, but I really invite you to use your own words, things that you would say that indicate that you're going somewhere, right? So if you say such a time as this, use that. And the entire point is to create this, what I'm doing, I'll share with you the strategy behind it, the marketing, sales psychology behind it. What I'm doing is I'm creating this feeling within your audience that makes people feel like, what is Alexandra doing? What is Allie up to? What's Maria? Hey, Maria. What's Maria up to? Like, what is this chick on? Is what we're creating. And that aliveness, when you're alive, inside of your audience's aliveness, they start to think like, God, I want to buy whatever she's having, because when our customers are activated, they move. When our customers aren't activated, they're like sloths. They don't want to go anywhere. They're like, I don't know. I don't need your offer. But when they're activated, they're like, give me the sales page. Give me the link. I'm so in. Yes, let's do this. So share on your social media, your posts, your feed, your IG stories, and tag me. Every single time you tag me, you'll get entered to win. One person will be selected on Monday. Okay. Lorette says, believing whatever happens, God is showing me the good in the situation. So now when things happen, I tune in, observe, and trust that I can still fulfill my purpose through the storms, because my intention is to change lives of women and moms for the better. Yes. Anya says, ready to become my own greatest success story. Meg says, amen, amen, amen. Sarah says, as for luxury purchases, I feel that there's so much more joy in having the level of intention. So that's for everything in life. Whether it's for an offer, whether it's for a meal, whether it's for the clothes that I wear. I actually was wearing something else for this call and I changed. It was in all black. And I was like, this doesn't make me feel alive for the aliveness call. Sometimes it does, but today it didn't. It actually did not make me feel alive. I was like, I need to put on all white. I need to change everything completely. The jewelry, everything for this. Intentionality and placing meaning on things moves people. This is why it works better than just a viral post. This is why it works better than just a bunch of views and likes. When people feel the intention behind something, they're moved by it. It's like she didn't just wear white because she wanted to wear white. She wore white because she wanted to feel something, and that intentionality moves me. Brands that are intentional, I love detailed intentional brands, they tend to make more money because it feels like a more trustworthy, grounded company. The brands, the mentors, the coaches, the people that you're like, what's going on? Like, this does not feel safe. And there's a difference between like safe in a harmful, weird way, and then safe in like this is a not safe place, but I'm expanded here. So intentionality is something so important to me, especially for moving high end at scale, high ticket volume. Pearls start out as grit. Yes, gorgeous. Love this story. Oof, I needed to hear this. Alchemizing fear is so powerful. Obsessed with this story. I joined that. Oh, what was it? The 50K month mini mind, Allie, $4.99 a steal. I have goosebumps already. Spicy Queen Ice, Ice Queen. The whoosh is whooshing. I feel this so much. It's also happened to me. This aliveness. Yes. Okay. Let me see something. Raquel says, love that this coincides with the spring equinox today. New energy, new beings. I had no idea. Okay. Meg Holiday put a conversation for us. She said, this is my most burning question for you right now. Bridge, if you were going for your first 100K month all over again for the first time next month, what would you focus on? I feel the shift in the wind right now. I'm ready to soar. So this would be the same thing for a 6-figure month, for a 200K month, a 400K month, a 600K month. That's all in cash. $1 million month in sales is what I've done. I haven't done a cash $1 million month yet. So I can't speak to that, but I can speak to it in sales. So it's the same. It's the through line of all the through lines. Just like all the stories of the Dior necklaces have these through lines. The first thing that I would do is I would focus on this intention that my work is deeply needed in the marketplace right now. So something I sense from a lot of people and some people here is that you know your work's important, but you don't really believe that it's that important. You don't really believe that like the entire industry needs your work, and not from a place of like the industry needs your work because everyone needs to buy from you, because I've never bought into that. It's come from this place of like, wait, no, my work is so important. My offers are so good. This work is so incredible that if you don't get your hands on this work, there's a problem. So passion is one of the most important things behind an offer going really, really well. So do you feel my aliveness and my passion right now in my Instagram stories, in the emails that I send out, in the posts that I'm making, in the sales copy, in my own mentorship programs? That's a precipice. That's the prequel to a massive launch. That's the prequel to the exponential growth to 100K cash months or $1 million cash months. That's the precipice. So I would first focus on that. And this is where people think you're crazy. This is where people doubt you the most. But this is also where you're, what I always say, the most dangerous, because people start to look at you and they're like, why is she so happy? What, something's wrong. Let's find something about her character. Let's find something off, versus you inside your soul know, I used to say this a lot, you have this like smirk about in your eye. You have this look in your eyes, I would say, like, I'm Meg Holiday, I'm gonna do this. It's literal delusion, but you're mixing it with action that supports the goal. So I'm gonna give you some unconventional sales advice. I gave this in my mastermind yesterday, and I got feedback. They were like, this is the best call I've ever attended. If you're in the mastermind, if you know, you know. So I'm going to give it to you, which is, if you want to create a lot of momentum, I want you to make more offers right now to your audience. I'm going to tell you an example of this. In 2022, when I first discovered the whoosh. I did something that was unconventional, and it was a big no-no to the business coaches of the world. I had business coaches tell me, do not do this. And I was like, I'm going to do it. Because I know that if I made more offers, more people would buy. And it ended up working out, right? And now people talk about this a lot and use this in their own strategy. And it worked really, really well. So at the time, I was previously selling things like a 3-month coaching program, a micro offer. But the problem is I would only sell one thing at a time. So I would sell the mastermind and sell the mastermind. Then I would sell the micro offer and sell the micro offer. And then I would sell the one-to-one coaching and sell the one-to-one coaching. And what I realized is that I was creating these start-stop models. Okay, buy now, don't buy now, don't buy now, don't buy. And it created this in and out feeling for me. And I was like, I want to be as big as a luxury store. When you walk into a luxury store, they try to sell you everything. They're like, do you want the necklace? Do you want the earrings? Do you want the bag? Do you want the suit, the pajamas, the scarf? Do you want it all? Like, I've never walked into a luxury store and they have just a scarf. So why are we doing this in the online space? And for me, what creates a lot of momentum is connection to human beings. I start to lose all momentum the second I disconnect from the people that I love the most. The second I start to harden my heart and get upset and offended and sad and resentful, I start to lose all the momentum. When I'm connected to the people that I love to mentor, the reason I do this business in the first place is the people that I love to mentor and lead and have conversations with, my business explodes. So I started to sell all of these different ways of working with me all at once. I was like, well, you can get the mini mind over here, and you can get this in-person experience that I'm running next year over here, and you can get this mastermind over here, and you can get this one-to-one intensive with me over here, and actually you can place your deposit for the next mastermind because that one just sold out over here. And when you pay in full for the year, you get this thing. Oh, and I also have this new masterclass that I'm coming out with, and you can get this. I also have this micro offer that I previously sold before, and you can get this. Now, what happened was so profound. Not every offer had the same amount of people in it. So not every offer had like 100 people in it, or 10 people in it, or 20 people in it. But every offer sold. And what I realized is it created this whoosh of momentum. People started opting in and were like, actually, I just want to buy this thing from you. I want to buy this from you. Even though I don't want to buy that, I would love to buy this. Let me give you another example of this. The other day, I put up on my Instagram stories a post about a content offer. And I said, message me content if you want this. So I just sold another offer because I wanted to sell another offer. I sell so that I can sell. I don't sell so people buy. So I put out this offer and tons of people messaged me about it. And what the funniest part is, somebody that just joined another program, she messaged me, she's like, I actually don't want this. I would love to join your 35K offer. 2 people did this yesterday. I actually don't want this $2,500 offer. I really want your $35,000 offer. And can you tell me about your year-long mastermind that's 50K? And actually, can you tell me about this thing did you hear you're doing a ski mastermind in Europe at the Four Seasons? Can you tell me about that? Can you tell me about the Costa Rica Ritz? So what it does is it creates this momentum. It creates the whoosh. So I don't care if people are coming in to buy my one program and they don't buy that and they buy something else. I don't care. All I want is people coming into my store. And if they're not walking into the doors of your store, then we have a problem. Then that's a much bigger problem. We don't have the whoosh. There's no momentum. So if I wanted to answer this question, Meg, again, in short, I would first look at my work as such a time as this. This is the most incredible work that I'm ever bringing forward in my entire life. Holy moly, macaroni. Everyone needs this work right now. If I don't drop this work, I deeply believe that I am a voice for this industry, that I'm an important person and people need to hear me. That intention, that context, that greater mission will change the world. It will change an industry. It will change people. It will change your income. It will change your clients' lives. It will change your happiness, your aliveness, your relationships, your health, everything. Number 1. Number 2, I would enter into that whoosh experience where you're going to open up the floodgates, is what I've called it in the past. You're going to open up more sales channels so that more people can buy from you, even if it's not the offer, the main core offer that you want to sell. And all of a sudden, you're going to start seeing ping, ping, I'm in. Ooh, Meg, you're just on fire. Meg, what is this? What's going on with Daisha? She's incredible. Da, 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 da. And then you're going to hit your first six-figure month. And then there's going to be seasons where you're like, I actually don't want to sell all of those things. I just want to focus in on one. We'll talk about that next week. But that would be my biggest advice to you. If you wanted to gain momentum, we need to get the pings and the dings and the things happening. So we need to get the momentum building first. So make more offers to your audience and you'll watch how they'll start to shift in the buying process. Okay. Daisha says, I love intentionality. I want to invest in less with more intentionality and higher quality. Yes. Yeah, this is why, I just joined a mastermind that was more than 6 figures. And I have not been in a mastermind. I talked about this for the Art of the Whoosh in many, many years. And it was one of the best things that I've done. Like just being inside of a mastermind, being held by other women who see me, it is one of the most beautiful things. And it was like intentional. I actually invested in it while I was in the war in Dubai. I wasn't in the war, but I was in Dubai where the missiles were exploding. And I invested in it there because I was like, I'm going to choose my aliveness right now because I'm alive and I need to do something for me. Right? So it's like the intention behind it, choosing to do something for yourself, choosing to lift your own self up, choosing, just like I told you the stories of the necklace, it's like I had every reason not to do these things. I had every reason to be sad and to listen to the stuckness and to be afraid. But instead I said, I'm going to be bold and brave and I'm going to do something for myself and I'm going to be the one who chooses to rise and I'm going to become the diamond of the century. Bailey says, in human design, they talk about informing before you make the move. In sales, they call it pre-commitment. Whatever it is called, it's powerful. Yes. Lucia, hi Lucia. I did a meditation a month or so ago to connect with my future self, and she was wearing pearls. Since then, I've been using a pearl necklace. That was my grandmother's. That is so beautiful. I've noticed today the whoosh, my visuals, projects, wind, movement, rising. It's happening in the whoosh. Yes. Oh my God. I think I do that in service of not confusing the clients, but makes so much sense. So it's not, what happens is sometimes when we just sell one offer, it depends on the context, right? Depends on the context of where. Like I would probably never stand from stage and be like, you can buy these 10 offers all at once. They'd be like, well, which one do I want? I would be more clear about it. But in the context of walking into my store, which our stores are social media, you can buy anything. You can buy the beautiful diamond ring, the bag, the earrings, the shirt, the necklace, the bracelets, what do you want? You can buy it all. Or you can buy the all access pass. Helena says, totally relate to this. And then after one big one-off launches, I find I get tired. I need to rest before starting up again the next month. Yes. So what happens there is it's not a whoosh. It's more like what would be a really good metaphor for this? It's more like, if you think about it energetically, it's more like all you did was like a big shoo, and then that was it. And then you need to like bring back all of the energy, all the things, and shoo, again, bring back all the things that shoo, versus something that's just like whoosh, 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 whoosh. Like the momentum never stops. And you do this by, number one, always creating an aliveness in your life. The next evolution of you. You know who's really good at whooshes? The art of the whoosh is Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is an embodiment of the art of the whoosh. And one of the things that she does is she's always evolving. She's always creating something new. She's like in her Eras tour, she's launching Life of the Showgirl. We stop the whooshes when we mute and cancel and silence ourselves. We stop the whooshes when we stop shining, when we stop showing up, when we're so hard on ourselves, when we make ourselves wrong all of the time. That's when the whoosh stops. You see this happen with artists. And then all of a sudden they like try to come back. And if they don't come back with the big whoosh, the whoosh doesn't work. So instead of thinking of like whoosh and done, you think about it like an ongoing compounding company. This has been my experience of Freedom Queen. This is why the company has compounded in so many ways. And I've actually discovered something new this year, different than past years, which is that something I talk a lot about and something I really am proud of inside of Freedom Queen is that the company has always compounded. So it's compounded in power and quality of services, in my mentorship, in the depth, in the client transformation, in the income that it makes. But I really uncovered something this year, which is that the next phase is exponential growth. So the next phase is like it goes off the charts. So rather than I've previously described infinite growth like this, like it just keeps growing and it's kind of linear. It's like, you know where it's going to go. The next phase of the whoosh is exponential. So it's like, let's use anyone here as an example. You could have a 20K month, a 20K month, a 20K month, a 20K month, 150, 200, 600. And it's like, it's literally doubling and compounding on itself versus it being like something I used to talk a lot about. And I think this is going to bring a lot of big growth inside of Freedom Queen for you and myself. I used to talk about it as like you made 50 and then 70 and then 100 and then 100 and then 120 and then 150 and then 140 and then 160 and then 120 and then 200, then 220 and then 300 and then 4. And I'm like, but why don't we play in the lens of exponential growth? Now that's another whoosh. And in order to be in that, one of the things that you cannot do, and this is the first chapter in my book, is you cannot turn the lights out. You cannot go over to that switch and click the button and turn them off. Because the second you do that is the second all of the growth stops happening. So if you want to keep having that exponential growth and power, then you have to keep the lights on. And obviously I'm talking about the light within you. And that has been some of the greatest work that I've ever done. And some of the greatest work that I also have done is going and turning the lights on and saying, oh shoot, why did I do that? Let me go turn them back on. Let me go turn all of them on. Okay. I hate when I'm told to just focus on one offer. Like, no. Yeah, and I think sometimes, people are right in terms of if the different contexts cause for different offer creations. But when we're talking about momentum, and I'm talking about just generalized coaching and strategy on social media, think about it like a Dior store. Dior doesn't just have this necklace, although I don't even think they have this necklace anymore. They have all these other things that you can purchase from. And that's what makes shopping so fabulous there, is you go and you buy this and this and this and this. Or I took a client to Tiffany's, or a client to, where did we go? Gucci and Cartier. It's like we're buying all the things. Like, I want all of this stuff. Same thing in the online space. This is landing so deeply. Katie says, what about selling other things while promoting a launch event? So, great question, Katie. You want to think about what's complementary to the offer that you're selling. So if you're selling a launch event, and I think when you say launch event, you mean like a conversion event, right? Like maybe a masterclass, a challenge, something like that, an in-person experience. You want to sell things that are you're hearting it, amazing. You want to sell things that are a complement to that offer, that deepen what you're currently teaching. So for example, for you, Katie, if you're selling a launch event, conversion event, it would be great to sell a VIP portion of it, or a one-to-one intensive add-on, or a mini mind that goes along with the launch event. So it's not this like extra one-off idea, but it further deepens the current offer that you're selling. And then what happens is people that are already in your conversion event go, oh, I want more of Katie's work. And those people become the more qualified buyers. And it's something so easy you can add onto your launches, and something, not that I forget it, but it's so funny how the basics are what have made me millions and millions of dollars. It's like, just add on a VIP portion, upsell them into something else that complements what you're selling. Great question. Amber says, this is helping me see momentum in a lighter, fun, exciting, sustainable, alive way versus the negative meaning I've given it in the past. Yes. It's also, Megs is claiming that for myself, enough 20K. Yes, 20K, 20K, 100K jumps. I think this is also something that allows you to, I like that you use the word, Amber, sustain the growth, because aliveness and creating this feeling of joy and happiness and fun, I find that it's easier to operate in the activation than it is to operate in the trying to pull back, trying to maintain, trying to protect yourself. Let me give you an example of this. I have a private client, we were doing this work together, and I shared with her, it's actually easy to go overboard and do 1,000% than it is to go from 50 to 90%. She's like, I feel like I'm operating at 50% capacity right now. And I said, it's easier to go 1,000% overboard, like literally go overboard, jump off the ship, swim past everyone and get on the sea while everyone is just trucking along on the ship and rowing to the land at 90%. At 90%, it's harder because there's still an aliveness of you that you're blocking. There's still a piece of you that you're like, I'm actually not allowing myself to be as myself as I can be. I'm still trying to protect something about myself. I'm still trying to protect myself from not burning out or getting exhausted. I'm still trying to protect myself from not being hated by you. I'm still trying to protect myself from something going wrong. It's like when you stop all of that and stop incrementally growing and you go exponential, you're like, actually, F this. I'm jumping off the ship. I'm going overboard and I'm swimming to the land as fast as I can. Like, that is alive. That's a story to tell. That's freeing. And that will create so much momentum inside of your life. So this completes our bonus session of The Art of the Whoosh. Next week, we have 3 calls, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They're all strategy calls. And try to be live. Try to be live for them. If you have to move something, move it. Be there. Otherwise, you'll get the replay if you can't make it live. And one person, I know that call flew by. I looked at them and like, it's past 1 o'clock already. One person will be receiving this beautiful necklace, and we're going to put it in a gorgeous package and mail it to your house. And we'll do something special with you and I. So it's not just like you get it, but like you receive it in a really beautiful way. Like you have an anchoring in a moment for yourself. And then we will enter into the whoosh together. And one of the things I love about this work is every single year I enter into a huge whoosh right now. So what is it, March? March, the momentum builds. April's massive. May is huge. June is huge. July. And it kind of like literally changes the trajectory of 2026. So I'm so excited. Thank you, Bridget. Congratulations on investing in your mastermind. Thank you. What a beautiful thing to say to someone. Thank you, Bailey. Allie Kennedy says, beautiful call, Bridget. Allie, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you. Love this call. I will see you on Monday for the Art of the Whoosh. And I'll see your tags and all the things this weekend. Okay. Bye, everyone.